With the season now largely in the books for the Las Vegas Raiders, there's a plethora of moves that need to be made by the team, and we are here to put them out there. Let us know what you guys think later on. Maybe we missed a move. But at the end of the day, this team clearly underperformed. There's a lot of players that need to come back. There's even some players they need to bring in, and we're going to get it right into it today. So move number one that I think everybody can probably surmise, move to make number one is re-sign quarterback Jarrett Stidham. So Jarrett Stidham, to me, showed a lot in 2 games. Now, again, I'm not saying that he's going to be the guy, but I think that from what you saw from him, especially against the 49ers, the number one defense, yes, he's someone that you definitely want to bring back. Now, the Chiefs game was a little bit more rough. I'll extend the olive branch. Yes, had a couple of fumbles, had that interception that was a little bit out there, but at the end of the day, I really felt like Jarrett Stidham, to me, showed that at the very least, he deserves another shot with his team to come back as a backup quarterback, and he needs to be that guy that they bring in to fill that void. He's absolutely earned that. Now, and also to compete. But at the same end of that, he should not be penciled in as the starter. This needs to be a guy that if you're going to go out and bring somebody in or do whatever, you need to do that. But also keep Jarrett Stidham on the roster. He deserves that spot. Now, on the flip end of that, as a move number 2 that the Raiders need to make, they need to draft or bring in a franchise quarterback. So you've heard the rumblings that we came out with yesterday. Dov Kleiman talking about how the fact that the Raiders are looking at bringing in Tom Brady makes a lot of sense. Also, there's been murmurings or whisperings, if you will, of bringing in Lamar Jackson. Makes a lot of sense to me, but at the end of the day, they're in a position where, yes, they need to make a move for a franchise quarterback if they do not feel like Jarrett Stidham is that guy. But at the end of the day, I think that this team is in a position where we've witnessed Derek Carr for however long, 8-9 seasons now. You need to go get your guy, whether it's in the first or second round or wherever. You need to go get your franchise quarterback and rely on him to take you to that next level. Tom Brady would make some sense if you ask me. You talk about Josh McDaniels out there and winning multiple Super Bowls with Tom Brady. Also talk about Lamar Jackson, that shaky Raiders offensive line at times. I do think that even though actually, we did see a lot of good things from them as the year wore on, but I still think that the Raiders are in a position where a mobile quarterback probably wouldn't hurt them. In fact, I think it could probably elevate them in a lot of different ways. Move to make number 3. This one might be a little bit controversial, not really. I think you got to extend running back Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs, this year he was absolutely fantastic. You're talking about a guy that had over 1,600 rushing yards. Has been that backbone for the Raiders offense for a long time. He deserves another shot. He deserves an opportunity to go out there and be a part of this team for at least a couple more years. And I think you're going to be able to get him for relatively cheap. I mean, $5 million a year to have Josh Jacobs on the roster, I don't think is out of the question. Josh Jacobs needs to be back in a Raider uniform next year because, yes, I know that we have Zamir White. I know that, yes, you also liked what you saw from Britton Brown in the preseason. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, Josh Jacobs was the heart and soul of this team in a lot of different ways. He needs to be back on a multi-year contract worth, in that 5 to potentially 8 range. I could see it. I think he needs to be back earning modest money, but also back playing for the Raiders because he's an absolute fan favorite and he's an absolute man just running the football for Las Vegas. Now, move to make number 4. This might come as a little bit of a shock. It also might not. I think you need to fire defensive coordinator Patrick Graham. Now, I think at the end of the day, yes, a lot of things can go wrong in the whole grand scheme of things in a season. But Patrick Graham's defense this year, no bueno. And we really shouldn't have come as a shock. But this Raiders defensive rankings, as we'll bring and show you up in just a second, they weren't good in any facet. I mean, we talk about we could see it all year long. It was absolutely rough. So this is according. My computer will just go ahead and work with me here. But here we go. Yeah, I'm figuring this out. This is according to lineups.com. So the Raiders team stats for 2022. So yes, we talk about all the different things going on with there, but I want to bring you guys over to the defensive stats here. It wasn't pretty in any way. So offense, defensive stats are right here. You see here, okay, so they allowed 418 points. Obviously in the red there, they had a lot of yards. Like they were, bottom tier in just about every category defensively. Like it just was not good. And I think that they're in a position where you need to make a change. And I don't care where it is. I think Patrick Graham, again, it's nothing against the man. I just think at the end of the day he needs to go. They were like 29th in yards, 26 in points allowed. It's time to make a change. You've got all that talent defensively. You need to go in and bring a guy that, will create some excitement and bring a lot of different things. Now, a part of that also that kind of goes into it, kind of rounding out things here, the move that you need to make, I think you need to trade/cut Chandler Jones. Now, Chandler Jones is getting up there. I don't know what you can get for him, but when you brought in Chandler Jones for that heap of money you did in the offseason, I don't think anybody was expecting this. 4.5 sacks from the man, and really, 3 of them in the same game late in the year. I think that was against the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken, but it was just... I understand that he's up there in age and that, it's a team effort. The defensive tackles have to make plays. They've got to do their thing to be able to make this thing flow a lot smoother. But this man comes away with 4.5 sacks this year. No, not with what you're getting paid. I don't care what they do, whether that's, I know this year, they've got to pay out that full, that full contract for him. But I believe the out is next year. So if they need to trade and cut him, I don't care. I think you need to find a way to get rid of Chandler Jones, get rid of that contract, bring in a pass rusher that's going to be worth the money because Chandler Jones just wasn't this year. Or if you bring him back, bring in a defensive coordinator that will use him in all the different ways. Also bring more blitzes and find guys that can cover because Chandler Jones, it really wasn't a good first year in Las Vegas. But that's it. Those are five moves, that we think the Las Vegas Raiders need to make. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about the 5 moves that the Las Vegas Raiders need to make.